Hello, everybody. Welcome to A Link to the Past Randomizer. This is the Crosskeys Mentor Tournament put on by the Go Mode Podcast. This is it. This is winner take all. This is grand finals. Deign versus Soz. I'm walking because I'm joined by a camera. Hello, Cam.
Hello. It's great to be here.
Yeah, so this is, like I said, this is it. Deign came from the winner side, having not dropped a race in the bracket up until making it to grand finals. Soz had to go through the lower bracket. But once they met in grand finals game one, Soz did take game one. And so as a result, this is the game two. Like I said, just winner take all. So going to be exciting for sure. And I believe we'll be getting started momentarily. I think whoever is holding up the race room might need to leave said race room. So yeah,
Right.
Crosskeys, if you don't know, cross-world key sanity. Basically, the key sanity portion means the small keys, big keys, maps, compasses are all going to be shuffled into the normal item pool. And the cross-world entrance aspect of that means that it's entrance shuffle. So entrances are going to be in all sorts of different spots, and you can find yourself walking into a connector, say Paradox Cave in the Light World. If you were to take a different connector, suddenly you're going to find yourselves in Dark World. And so that's sort of the cross-world aspect of it. So hopefully we'll be getting started here soon. Cam, are you looking for anything fun, exciting so far for this race?
Well, I'd like to see a lot of divergence, see if they have any sort of interesting, crazy plays. And yeah, okay, looks like we're off, yeah. So, okay, we gotta... they both going the same? No, okay, we already have just divergence straight off the start here with the standard Houlihan start and then a Sank start here.
Yeah, so Deign, kind of depending, like both these runners over the course of the mentor tournament, kind of leading up to the bracket stage, you know, each of these runners would reach out to a mentor and they would kind of not like walk them through, but you know, provide suggestions, see how it's going, keeping them on logic or maybe giving them some tips and tricks. Because like if you're playing Crosskeys, you generally already have a decent idea like how to play the game, and so a lot of the mentors were just kind of guiding along, helping, making sure things were good. So Deign is already doing like a start that you might see someone who, like me, who mentored him, likes to do, which is the Houlihan start. However, Soz just found something very nice to start.
Yeah, that's a very big advantage just right here, getting that flute early. Lets him basically do Houlihan if he wants, pretty much for free.
Yeah, and it could also be a big advantage depending on like how far Deign goes before he saves and quits to the sanctuary location. Because like if he maybe finds like a bomb shop and takes us all the way to the eastern area, Soz is going to be able to get there fairly easily with this flute.
Okay, going straight to Hyrule Castle. I don't know. Well, personally, I'm not quite a fan of doing this quite so early without bombs, but I don't know what you think, Wally.
Yeah, this is one where I like to hold off a little bit, like you said, because if I find like the well here, you know, I don't have any bombs, like you said, so it could be like the well.
Yep, exactly.
You could be leaving something behind here, but he'll get the tree pole. And probably check the entrance here. He does have money now, so if he finds a shop here, he could buy bombs. But not quite so lucky. Soz, meanwhile, has already activated the flute, going to go through pretty much the majority. Although we're already heading north. Like, we definitely left behind a number of entrances.
Yeah, did they do, like, basically like the Elder's House and whatnot? And
yeah, like none of the three entrances in the north part of Kakariko were touched.
Interesting.
So
What an odd decision. Yeah.
I mean, with the flute, it's not terrible because we can just flute right on back here.
For sure. Just overall, I think you would agree. You know, you'd probably want to do those entries on the very, very slim chance there's a glove or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Like coming over in this area, like Saz is doing, you're going to be probably isolating the Death Mountain entrance a little bit. Cuts the chances of getting flippers before Houlihan. If like, I feel like if you're Sync starting, you're generally not Houlihaning unless your Sync start is the useless fairy drop down.
Even as someone who Houlihan's quite often, even as a Sync starter, in this situation, I think that's just a chance you just take.
Mm-hmm. And like that's one of the differences when it comes to choosing your early game route. You know, Saz choosing the Sanctuary start, you know, usually you're going to cover more entrances early on, like you might find an early Kakariko exit, like we did here. Deign, meanwhile, is going to take, you know, the minute and a half, 2 minutes, but in exchange, Dane's going to have resources. You know, Deign has the money to buy bombs, and, you know, once they find a cave, they'll have bombs. And with 186 rupees, he'll have money for bottle vendor, so you're not leaving as much behind.
This is great. Early pod, sword already.
Yeah, first chest sword.
Very nice, comfy start.
And something else that is here, and I don't know if we're going to see Saz take advantage of it. Looks like he is. Pod has a lot of bombs in the front.
Was wondering if one of them were able to mimic clip or not. It's like maybe they're going for it.
Yeah, and you mentioned, you know, coming up here, you maybe want to be a little more thorough with the Kakariko entries in case you find a glove. Deign found a glove. So that'll be a little bit of an advantage for Deign once he does come up here, because he's not going to be isolating the entrances that Saz is going to be isolating, although the mini Moldarms here are being a little rude.
As they always are.
And I don't think he's activated his flute yet. Oh, there we go.
Very clean.
That was a very nice mimic clip, yeah.
Well,
so whatever Saz find here... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just saying hi to somebody that I know.
So whatever Saz finds here is going to be bow locked, which if it's something significant could be, you know, an indicator. It's like, oh, I know maybe where the bow is. Or at least I know where the bow isn't going to be.
Which unfortunately that doesn't really give us much information, sadly, with that.
No. Deign, meanwhile, checked the one paradox connector, did not pop out somewhere they could do anything with, so just save and quit, and we're right back in Kakariko.
I find it kind of interesting they're not just taking the Fairy Ascension right now.
Yeah, it's a little interesting, but again, having not activate, well, I mean, they just picked up the flute, so obviously they didn't know the flute was here, but like, it's still not super hard to get back here, and especially now that we do have this flute.
I do understand in like in Soz's contest where it was like the first entrance they went into, I wouldn't have taken it either for sure.
Right.
I feel like Deign, with their knowledge, probably could have taken it, but it'll be fine because so now it's free for them.
Yep. And we even get a free bomb farm, even though we have 10 bombs.
Unfortunate. Always find it after.
So Saz is going to do the Houlihan. Hey, look, you want more bombs?
Yeah, as I said, I tend to play more like this. I'm a big fan of playing Sank as kind of an extended Houlihan to try and get bombs if you find cack well. It ends up building a little slower, so I understand why a number of people don't like it.
Yeah.
And I do think you need to be very willing to cut your losses on it and to play the more sort of meta sank play. But yeah, mostly because I just really, really hate leaving this check, personally.
So Saz is coming back and gonna go ahead and just finish out the rest of Kakariko.
Yeah, which is really good for them now that they get their bonds.
Yep, and they'll probably finish by heading back towards Paradox, which will give them their glove, which is very nice. There are a couple other things in there. I think like a cape and a shovel were there as well. So there's some good use in Paradox for sure. That podkey is probably going to make Saz feel a little bad.
So at this point, where do you think you'd go next? Would you think you go to the mountain or
I mean, with
eastern?
Like, given how early we had the glove,
I would probably do south route.
Yeah, I was like, I would definitely want to have a little bit of an earlier priority on some of the glove locked entrances. So the Death Mountain entrance, the Light World Shopping Mall cave, the cave near desert. Like, those would definitely be on my radar. And with the flute, they're both pretty easy to get to.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of going over to like desert area and whatnot with flute and glove for sure.
Kind of interesting, Saz with the sword choosing not to do the first chest of Aga Tower. That is in logic.
Yeah, I think putting it off is fair though, because it is very, very slow.
True.
But you definitely want to go to it sooner rather than later for sure.
Yeah,
that is definitely risky to do.
So a blind race check gets us powder. We do know where Magic Bat is. Both runners saw that when they were hula handing because that's where that drop down is.
Ooh, okay. All right, well.
that bow, not very far away.
Yeah. No need to mimic clip maybe on Deign's side.
Yeah, it'll be a little interesting because like Deign is going to have this small key and is thus going to be able to do the Stathless Basement and the bridge check, something that Saz didn't do. But I don't know if Deign mimic clips, so like without the bow, Deign might not get the two checks that were there, which weren't anything, but it's a little interesting that that's all basically in logic at this point.
Gotta love the bombs.
Get our first big key, and it's a pod big key. Big chest and the boss, of course, locked behind all 6 pod keys, but having it is always a good thing.
Yeah, thankfully for right now, it's not gonna matter too much.
Yep. Oh. There's a potion shop here. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I completely missed that, yeah.
Like, I'm almost 100% certain Deign checked that. I just, in my head, marked that F as something not important. Alright, we get a nice key. I'm a little surprised Saz is taking this connector as opposed to Paradox. I'm assuming they know where Paradox is.
Yeah, they walked into it. And walked right back out earlier.
Alright, well,
I assume that's what they're doing now, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I'm definitely kind of a fan of doing lower value connectors first, just because you're more likely to go back to these higher stuff.
I mean, I just didn't want to run into, like, like if I'm running the seed, I don't want to run into a situation where like had that connector spit me out at East Death Mountain, and then I find a dungeon or something on East Death Mountain that maybe this Paradox Cave could have.
Yeah, that's very fair.
A big key for. Like, if I know where, if I know where a 7-item cave is, then I can do it. I'm gonna do the 7-item cave before I run through a connector real quick. Oh, there's also a Turtle Rock key here.
Always good to have early.
We get an Eastern big key. Deign could potentially be able to single dip Eastern, depending on how long it takes for them to get that bow in South Kakariko.
So Eastern Pendant, got it.
I mean, that's okay if you can single dip it.
Yeah. It's still items, but it's just infuriating at times. Okay, we already found front of TR.
And yeah, Deign is going right towards these South Kakariko checks. Hasn't taken the connectors, so doesn't know that you can just like he'll look at the powder and think, oh, I'll pick that up when I get the mirror, not knowing that one of the connectors in Kakariko that he hasn't checked yet. We'll take him right there. Look at that beautiful early dam check.
Ooh, and a Thieves' Ball. Everyone's favorite.
It's not great until you get a hammer, because obviously you need the hammer to get the big chest, and that's all that you need for that's all you need the small key for. So hopefully we get a hammer before we get the Thieves Big.
Very dense opening here so far, finding Paradox.
Yeah.
Finding Hype Cave.
Hype Cave giving us a lamp.
Wonder if we'll find Blind Hut or something at Eastern area.
Mm-hmm. And given that the lamp was behind the glove, now I do have some interest in the Old Man and the Old Man Save and Quit.
Always nice to have a fire source early as well. Hookshot Cave. I think at least Solos can hover, so that might be a factor here, possibly.
True. I don't believe Deign can hover.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it came up last time for them.
It's very wild that, like, we're talking, this is a mentor tournament, and yet the runners are capable of hovering.
Yeah, it's just some of these people have been around for quite a while. So, like, I think Solos has maybe been around longer than I've been in the community.
I mean, and it also just shows just the overall quality of the runners at this point. Like, when I starting out was, okay, you're lucky to get a sub 2-hour open seat, and like starting out, it almost seems like you're like a 1:30 open average time is like almost expected of you. So like the quality of the competition is very high right now.
Absolutely. Vanilla Old Man.
Yeah, so I think 17 minutes in, I think we can say in the early game, it looked like starting CAC was probably a little bit better. Soz's routing has been slightly more efficient than Dane's in that, we got the early flute essentially. Like the early flute is basically what's helped Soz mitigate some of the time loss, or some of what Deign was able to do early on.
Unfortunate finding Bumper Cave there.
And this mountain is actually turning out pretty nice for Saws. The connector he took basically just went from West Death Mountain to East Death Mountain, which means we can just get all of these entrances out of the way real quick, flute right back over to West Death Mountain, and finish all that off. And I suspect Deign isn't going to be too far behind.
Yeah, I would assume they're probably going to go back here pretty shortly.
Although Deign doing my favorite entrance check that people love to put off forever.
Absolutely. This is the first. If I get flute, this is the first check I do.
Look at that!
Wow,
It's
it is
Eastern Palace. We have
What
a bow.
classic.
We have a big key. We have a lamp. Everything here is in logic.
And I'm guessing Saws didn't do this.
No,
So-
Sauce did not do
Oh
this.
no, that's unfortunate. Yeah, this did pretty easy for them to get kind of lost in the sauce there.
Yeah.
Oh, and a
already.
sword. Oh wow.
And like this
Unfortunate.
entrance in particular, runners can put off for so long.
Yeah, that's exactly why I make a massive point to do this, because
Yeah.
I am that person who will
Yeah,
put that off for an hour.
Yeah,
Or something.
and you're just like, oh, this is the entrance like literally closest to the start of the game. Why would I do it right off the bat? Like, yeah, no, this is an entrance that is one that a lot of runners can put off for a while. Again, not because they're trying to put it off, but just because, you know, you start Sanctuary, you get some good stuff. You're following connectors. You start Link's house. You don't have a bomb to open this entrance, so you put it off, and suddenly, like you said, it's an hour and you still haven't done it.
Exactly.
Yeah, PTG Mock basically summing it up is like, it's so easy to get to, I can do it.
And then, 30 minutes later, you're not looking at your green square that's there and forget, just assume you even just did it. I've definitely had that happen multiple times between myself and other people I've raced.
Yeah.
Where neither of us did it because it just.
And like,
It's
I
really
wouldn't be
rowdy.
surprised if the vanilla Big Key Chest or Armos have something important given the logical progression of things so far.
Absolutely. Would really put together for this early game.
Saz finding Mini Moldrum Cave, taking a little bit of the longer way to kill the Mini Moldrums. If you have Ether Medallion and a sword, like, you just Ether and kill all of them, boom.
Or at the very least, bombs. You have
Or
10 of
bombs.
them.
Yeah, I mean, sword is fine.
Yeah. But definitely a big proponent at the very least of, throwing one bomb over. Saves so much time.
Yeah. Did get a GT small key for their efforts. Deign so far in Eastern found Bombos and the Thieves Big. So we do have the Thieves Big and the Thieves small key. Have not found Thieves Town, but it's fully in logic to clear once we do.
Yeah, it's gonna be very, very nice once we do.
Although again, it's a matter of, do you try to wait out the hammer in order to not isolate the big chest?
Which, no.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you find Thieves Town, you're probably just clearing it.
Like, Thieves Town Big Chest sucks, but I think it's very much not so insanely slow that it is worth going back to, in my opinion. If you really have to.
Alright, we're here at Armos Knights. Meanwhile, Saz is actually doing the vanilla Eastern entrance. It's always funny how sometimes it locks up like that. Deign almost saved, but not quite. Oh, it's a pendant. Of course it is.
Unsurprising.
You called it.
50-50.
50-50. 10 dungeons, 3 pendants, 50-50. but still to get some nice stuff like the sword,
Combos, yeah,
the thieves
absolutely.
big.
Would
Like,
not be unhappy. Just getting
yeah,
the sword alone, I'm already okay. This was worth it.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Although I wouldn't have, I guess, completely disagreed. Like maybe if they bailed early or something, but
Well, I mean, you don't know if it's a pendant or crystal, so
yeah, exactly. And you can full clear it.
yeah. Like, I think it's slightly unfortunate that like none of the good things that we saw were locked behind the big key. But I still don't think you're too concerned about that.
Especially this early. You're still looking for Pearl.
Oh
You're
yeah,
still looking for Hammer.
yeah,
Like, you're full clearing pretty much everything at this point,
Mhm.
regardless. And your opponent should be as well.
yeah.
If they're
I'm
not, they're crazy.
right. Looking at Saw's, very surprised. So Saw's found Desert Right, and customary when you find Desert Right, you'd usually end up walking out of Desert Left before you walk out of Desert Mid. Desert Left was vanilla. Saw's with the glove did not actually check what was at the back of the back desert entrance. So
Interesting. Maybe they forgot.
yeah, it's like that might be a little bit of a mistake on his part, because it's definitely something that he can do,
Because it's definitely really easy to forget something like that. I feel
especially early
if you're
game.
not used to it.
Yeah, like it's. I say it all the time. Like, if there's anything important in like the first 30 minutes of a seed, I am in so much of a like. I won't remember. I can't tell you how many times if I get an early hammer that it takes me like 25, 30 minutes to recognize, I can do
my
the magic
gosh.
bat drop down.
Or I am the worst about Dark World access. I
Just
will never remember.
just for whatever reason, it's just like hum de dum de dum. Oh wait, I can do all of these things.
Yeah, absolutely. And it'll be like I'll go through like 4 connectors to get to the Dark World and realize, oh my gosh, I'm so dumb. I've had a Dark World access for half an hour.
All right, so this is how I was going to be going
Okay,
through
cool.
Eastern.
Alright,
Again,
but they do not have the big key.
where was the big key?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I thought it was somewhere in CAC, right?
It was either that or maybe Pod, like in one of the 2 checks in Pod that Saw's into.
Oh, that's very possible.
Because at this point, I think those 2 checks in Pod are the only thing that Deign has done that Saw's hasn't.
Well, unfortunately for Deign, it's probably not going to bite Saws too much.
Yeah, this will end up being a bit of a time save for Saw's, because unless Saw's comes back here early on after picking up the big key, they'll probably know before coming back here that this is going to end up being a pendant and probably just put it off.
Yeah, I definitely know it'd be pretty tilting to me at the very least. Hey, Maniacal, how's it going?
So this is going to be a really interesting reflection point. If there is something here in the back of Desert, I don't know how long it's going to take Saws to get back here.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty bad. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Never punished.
And I think Saws is it Saws that knows the other side of where that's at?
I'm pretty sure both runners have seen it at this point.
I couldn't remember. I thought one of them hadn't made it to
Saws for sure has seen the other end of that.
Yeah. Oh wow, GT.
GT.
And just really, really easy to get into there. Anyway, how's it going, Shadow?
To answer a question, Chad, Invictus Rage, yes, all keys are scattered throughout the world. Or at least all keys in dungeons, as well as maps and compasses. What big key was that? Was that the Meyer big?
Yep, as well as entrances are also, yes, entrances are randomized. This is a mode called Crosskeys. Cross-world entrance randomizer with key sanity. It's crazy mode that's super fun.
Yes. Looks like we're getting a little bit of convergence on the part of both runners.
Always nice to have GT in a super easy spot like that.
Yep.
Especially now with Flute making it super fast once you find your hammer to go on left side there. Of course, that's exactly what makes it easy to... Ooh, a cane. Oh, with behind boots. Alright, that's an interesting find. But of course, similar to Light Height Cave, having it that easy also makes it easy to just never do it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm sure both runners are gonna. I'm sure Soz isn't gonna be too far behind, recognizing, checking that entrance where the cane is. So let's see. So what options do we have at this point for potential progression? With the glove, that does put Zora himself into logic. We can do Magic Bat. We have some unfun opportunities in Ice Palace.
I think that's about it.
Or we can bunny walk for a while. We are going to be checking that Magic Bat. This is something that Deign has not done, because Deign has not gone through many of the connectors in Kakariko at this time. Oh, and we have first chest Agate Tower.
Oh, right, yes. And I don't think either runner's done that, correct?
Correct. Ooh,
Oh,
that is
there
a
we go.
moon
There's
pearl.
our pearl. Okay.
That is a big find for Soz.
Spicy. Which Deign has to go through a connector to get to there.
Yep. And I don't suspect he's going to be going through that connector for a while.
Because that was up in Lost Woods, right?
Kakariko.
Oh, it was in Kakariko? Okay.
Yeah, it's still just, you know, Deign has all the entrances that they're going to go through on the mountain. Probably going to end up dipping Ice Palace with the Bombos in hand. So it'll be very interesting to see how long it takes Deign to get that Moon Pearl. There is that Easter Big.
Easter Big key.
I wonder if your Soz, how long it takes you to kind of go back to Eastern. Which again, we know is nothing and is just a pendant at this point, but...
Yeah, with Pearl, definitely quite a while, I say. They have a lot to do now.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. This is just a standard 7/7 fast Ganon, so they don't necessarily have to beat Aga2 unless Ganon is behind the pyramid.
I think Ganon is behind Aga2.
Yeah, and I think that is correct, because we haven't seen them at all, so fortunately it looks like they'll have to climb.
Mm-hmm. So Soz is going to take the out of logic check here. He knows where Kane is, which is one of the two ways this becomes in logic, and he knows that's boots locked. Funny. Alright. I don't think you're too worried about that.
Absolutely agree there. Ganon is at least consistent.
Yeah, definitely. And Soz, to Soz's credit, is being kind of thorough about some of the Sphere 1 entrances kind of before hitting up more of Dark World, which can be a benefit in Crosskeys because, like, if you get early Dark World access, you know, if you get like a really early Pearl, chances are you probably end up in Dark World maybe earlier than your than you maybe want to be in, and you could find yourself leaving behind something important in an early check here.
Yep, that's exactly what I was about to say, Shadow, is you have a flute, you save so much time in terms of movement compared to, and you want to, if on the off chance you get boots.
Yeah.
Especially with the cane out there. Can really, really speed up your Dark World.
Yep.
Or mirror.
Deign just really wanted to kill that enemy. Alright, so Deign is going back to the one check in the well that he had to leave behind. Which is good, like we don't know what it is, and Soz is about to realize that the well is here. So Deign isn't necessarily losing any time or losing anything by coming back to this. Still though, like for Deign, that Ice Palace play is probably his most dense check left, so I'm a little surprised he left it. Like he still left it, because at this point, I think Dane's options in his mind is Zora, which he just actually got Zora money for, Ice Palace, and then Connector diving, which isn't great. Like if you're down to Connector diving, you probably want to focus on stuff that you know is guaranteed items.
Moon Pearl is behind Magic Bat, which you had to take a connector to get your powder.
Yep.
Which is all in CAC that you could do, so it's just really easy to just not take it, though.
Yeah.
With how much there is available, especially with Flute.
Alright, so Soz looking like they're going to head over to Desert, because I'm pretty sure at this point our only tangible Dark World connector use is the Desert connector here.
Yeah, that's all I'm aware of.
Yep. And this is good for Deign. This is the connector he needs to take. He doesn't know that this leads to Race Game, which will give him his... Oh no, it's not this one. It was the other one in Kakariko. I misspoke. I even have that marked correctly on my tracker. So you're gonna get the first chest of Aga Tower. Which again, something that Soz did not do.
Ooh,
oh, it's a hammer!
It's a hammer, wow, that's pretty big there. So hopefully they go and get their powder here shortly, now that they're still here in CAC.
That's very interesting. Because now it's definitely a when does Soz go for that?
Very doubtful it delays Moon Pearl. It doesn't really open anything.
I mean, that's a largely full clear of Ice Palace right now. I mean, Deign will probably take this powder and turn it in straight away.
Yeah,
hopefully. Like if we're rooting for Deign, you know, you want him to take away, or you want him to check this powder now. But he knows he has Ice Palace fully available. Just about fully available to him. Yep, I think he's gonna.
Oh man.
Whoop. Although I don't know why he's saving quit. Like.
Which I mean, this is fair.
Oh, he's gonna do back of escape. Like yeah, this does open up
okay.
back of escape, which yep, I would definitely do first.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, if he goes and does ice, that's completely reasonable with Bombo's half magic master sword. You
Hmm.
know, hammer glove.
Cape. Yeah, like
It's not
this.
really going to
This
get much faster outside of getting that cane, which is
right,
pretty unlikely.
and maybe boots are in Ice Palace to give you
Yeah,
access to the cane. Like
exactly.
I gotta get a couple of keys that probably in the grand scheme of things aren't going to be too much. I talked earlier about how Saz was like very thorough in kind of his Fear 1 clearing, but the one he didn't do
Yep.
is a big one,
Of
unfortunately.
course.
Yeah, that's how it is. And yeah, we're going to ice. I don't think Saz has found a whole lot of significance so far during their Dark World loop. A couple keys. I know they have an additional pod key now, but I don't think we've seen any like big keys of value, or I don't see a hook shot or flippers or anything like that on this tracker.
Cute.
Yeah, Saz took the connector, which makes sense given that, if you drop down from Village Valcast, you're not getting back up. But unfortunately, it makes this routing just a little bit more awkward. I do like this music.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's like sometimes you like to have music where you're just like, sometimes I just need some upbeat, chill. Like I don't want anything super serious. I won't say no to Blue Mail.
Yeah, this is certainly a Dark World. I definitely don't mind it. Other than sometimes it could be, mildly annoying not having mirror.
Yeah, this is where not having the ability to deathwork can sometimes be a problem. Dane's got to be careful. Doesn't have much health.
Ooh, yeah. It's definitely at this point. If I'm Blue Mail, I'm like, okay, please don't give me hearts.
Mm-hmm. Dane,
Ooh,
what was that?
No.
That was unfortunate.
Oh, absolutely tragic.
I mean, it might at this point just lead him to his moon pearl.
Yeah, but it does likely prevent him. He's probably not going to go back to Ice Palace for a while, I assume.
Yeah.
Which could be really bad.
And yeah,
Oh,
PTG
we got a
Mock
fire rod.
pointing out that we did get a fire rod in first chest at Thieves Town. Small and big, I fully expect Saz to full clear it, which means that big chest is
Basically
probably
dead,
a win
dead
condition
forever.
for Deign.
A little unfortunate getting the fire rod down here at where Thieves Town is instead of getting it, where we can clear Skull.
Yeah.
So it is a little awkward.
Yep. Did also get a third sword. So that'll make the boss kills at this point pretty much a breeze.
Yeah, continuing to be a very comfy seed for the most part.
Curious to know what Dane's next play is.
Hey, he doesn't have much left. He has what, basically Powder and Zora, right?
Powder Zora and going back to ice.
Yeah. So wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. I mean, Powder's fast enough. I feel like you do that.
Yeah, Powder's
Looks
pretty
like
quick. You should be able to go do
looks,
Powder.
looks like that's probably what he's gonna do at this point.
We'll see. I mean, he's back to full health, so like he might still be thinking Ice Palace, which he is.
Ah, okay. Unfortunate. Yeah, I thought.
I mean,
For some reason, I thought I remembered saying was vanilla. For some reason, my brain wasn't working.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Saw's clearing out Thieves' Town. Again, fully in logic, but without the hammer. Not going to be able to do the big chest. So
Yeah,
I wonder if your Saws, if you start to piece together that first chest Aga Tower might be important.
At least me personally, I probably wouldn't. It probably wouldn't even necessarily be in my mind too much at this point.
Well, because like if you think about it, like we don't have access to East Dark World. He's done a pretty thorough job clearing out like the West Dark World checks. I think minus just the Skullwoods area in general. So, who knows? Although with this Fire Rod, maybe now Ice Palace is on his mind, which is not what he wants to do, given that we know where the hammer is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Deign is out of bombs, which is going to be a problem.
Oof.
Deign is not having fun in Ice Palace.
No, so unfortunate.
So, I wonder if he remembers that there is a shop at the, well, no, he knows there's a shop right here, that's right. So, I wonder if he goes bombs and just goes right back. Like, this is all just unfortunate for Deign. And probably, like, a little tilting, too.
100%.
He's just going right back to Ice Palace.
Oh, so sad. You hate to see it.
Yeah.
At least this isn't the worst to get back to. It's
it's
mildly
not
obnoxious, but this is not the slowest thing possible. So,
but like at this point, the time that he's bled on the fact that this is now his already third trip into ice, when he could have full cleared it in his first 2 tries here. Even if Saz at this point comes into Ice Palace without the hammer, I think those 2 times essentially cancel each other out. Like,
yeah, absolutely. It gives a very, very clear advantage to Saz at this point.
One thing that Saz, by the way, picked up in Thieves' Town on the boss was the Turtle Rock Big Key.
Ah, okay. So we are breaking this. This was something I was thinking I would probably do. Oh no!
That was unfortunate.
So unfortunate.
That is not the one he wanted to jump on. If you're interested in going to East Dark World from what he was doing, you can jump onto the area where Ice Palace is, and there is a spot for you to, with some clever maneuvering, you can get onto the dock to get over to East Dark World.
Okay, yeah, this makes sense that they're just going back into Eastern at this point.
Yep, and this is good for Deign because we know that there's nothing here in the 2 check that Saz is going to get, and it's a pendant.
Yeah, I do hope that it might be fortunate for Saz that they messed up that Ancilla, because they might get their hammer here pretty quick.
Yeah, it's weird how sometimes Crosskeys can end up being like, oh, I made a mistake, and yet somehow it still benefited me in the end. Oh, bless the Pen Gators being on the heart.
Yeah, especially nice since Deign still on green mail, right?
Yeah.
So this is every seed I've ever played. Yeah. Shadow. Feels like pretty much every seed that I get a fast time. It feels like I did not deserve that.
So, sometimes things work out, you know? So if you're Dane, hopefully you're okay in this dungeon. You know, obviously Cold Stare loves to deal a ton of damage, but he does should have a green potion from what he got in Eastern, and with the cape, the green, the half magic, you know, it should all be okay.
Yeah, this is definitely far from the worst fight, but it is definitely mostly only scary because of the lack of blue mail here.
Yeah, I mean, there's also the thought if you're, you know, pretty much any runner ever, that like, oh, I want to preserve my green potion. Like, I want to preserve it for something. Like, runners, I don't want to say runners think they're better than they are, because that sounds negative. But like, runners definitely won't use the safeties at their disposal.
Absolutely, and potion shop is literally just a flute away. At this point, you should be more aggressive with using your resources for sure. So hopefully Deign does that.
Mm-hmm. And this looks like it's going to be the Ice Palace play for Soz, which is unfortunate given the hammer location. And I don't think we've found anything about you here in Ice Palace.
No, I don't remember seeing anything.
Oh, he's doing Skullwoods first, which makes sense.
Ah, okay. Still, either way, they're now here.
Yeah. It's like, I imagine
Aga.
Just the next play. Deign, you have powder.
Although maybe they decide to Solas decides to bail early.
Maybe.
I think that's not completely unreasonable here, but with the amount of chests that they do have, unlikely. And how much is available in ice. Because they probably just expect hammer to be in ice. And unfortunately, we know it is not.
Yeah.
Because I think in Solas's position, that is what I would probably assume.
Yeah. So I was having a little trouble with this Moth fight, because Moth is just saying, hey, I'm going to hang out in the worst place ever. Alright, Deign is going to have to be careful here, because he is going to run out of magic, and he is in Oko mode.
Oh boy.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh.
You gotta account for the delay that it takes to, like, get back to the cape and then still hit the button to equip the cape.
Alright, made it through.
Gets it done, nicely done. And gets a pendant out of it.
Pendant. Oh my god.
And apparently the Skull Woods prize was also a pendant. So that's all 3 pendant knowledge already.
This is a seed.
Like, I know it's still a little ways away, but in the back of the mind, like, the ped play is gotta be something you have to consider soon.
Absolutely. Yeah, ped is quite out of logic, just from even just Skull Woods alone. But yeah, I think you get all the pendants, you just do it.
Like, Skull Woods, we're only one small key away from Skull Woods, because there's always a key in Skull Woods.
Oh, do we?
And
oh yeah, that's right.
We already had, and we picked up one somewhere else. So one small key to Skullwoods puts Mothy in logic. It's Ice Palace is the one that's a little bit more out of logic.
Yeah,
We still need the big
absolutely.
key.
Yeah, so you need the big key. Might need Hookshot.
Hookshot itself only puts the right checks into logic.
Yeah.
But also given the fact that we know where the cane is and the cane is boots locked.
Only the other key or cane. Okay.
Yeah. So like it's not
Which we
super far away.
Yeah.
This is a Hostile.
Either case, I'm given all 3 pendants, that easily.
Yeah.
Flute. I feel like you just go check it.
Like it is not unrealistic to think that Deign could potentially pull Ped before getting the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, which is wild. That is definitely what a great seed to have for the finals here.
Like it's 100% not in logic pre-Moon Pearl because Mothula can never be behind. Like the Moon Pearl can never be on Mothula, given the fact that one of the keys is in its vanilla location in the Dark World. But it's still funny.
Yeah. Logic's magic. Did I roll the seed? No. We have both fire sources. I couldn't roll this.
Saw's doing the back of escape. Doesn't have the hammer. Nice mitts, dude. I wonder if Saw's stole the key or if he had the key. I admittedly am not sure.
Yeah, I wasn't quite paying attention. I don't remember seeing the key show up. Okay. So they got it in a dungeon. Okay,
right.
Thank you, Arya.
Yep. Our tracker Arya start keeping us in line. Much appreciated. Having to do the work of watching both runners and keeping track of where things are.
That's why it is nice to have a tracker around.
Yes. There is a small key on Zora Ledge. I'm not confident Deign is going to be able to get that, given that they have cleared Eastern and likely have not reset the Ancilla.
Yeah, and I'm assuming they probably don't know the method to. Because even I don't quite remember exactly how to do it.
Yeah, I just kind of YOLO it and hope it works.
Yeah, that seems to be what about everyone does. Just lay up a whole bunch and pray.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll work.
You're just like hoping. I think it's also just a little too far. Yeah.
Although I think the correct method, you're supposed to like drop bombs in the water, I think.
Who knows?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, Shadow. So you had to drop bombs to guarantee it, but I don't know. I'm not a good enough glitcher for that.
Alright, where is Deign headed off to?
Need Futon or Malmo or somebody to correct us on that.
So it looks like Deign is going to start doing some bunny walking, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, really unfortunate. I definitely not a fan.
Thief Sound though, not behind a bomb or the Thief Sound main entrance, so you could sequence break that clear for Deign.
Yeah, I am wondering if maybe they either forgot about powder or
like the powder.
Or possibly they feel really behind, so they feel they need to make a big play.
I don't know if they feel well. I mean, I guess after the unfortunate Ice Palace, like yeah, you might not feel too great.
Yeah, I feel like in Crosskeys that would still be the wrong way to feel because of just you can just one thing and change it like that, but yeah, I think it's pretty easy that maybe they got to tunnel visioned here on the Dark World and forgot about Magic Bat.
Yeah. Yeah, the bat location is just at the useless fairy drop down, but like, it's, you know, it's still not the easiest thing to be like, oh, I can just, you know, do. I can just go right over. Like, you know, you're going through your head. This is, you know, this is a winner take all final. You know, I hate to say the pressure of the fact that you're in,
Absolutely.
you know, the grand final of a tournament is a very real thing. We did find Swamp Palace, which, given the fact that we know all of our pendants and crystals, we know that's a crystal. So Deign 100% will need that Moon Pearl.
Yeah, and if anybody knows about the pressure of grand finals, it'd be you, Wall Kicks.
Yeah, and like it's a real thing. You know, the 2021 and 2023 Crosskeys finals, like you know, you're worried because you're right there. I will say, like, the game 3 this year I was in, I was like weirdly fine. I'm like, you know what? Regardless of how it, you know, regardless of the outcome, it's over, which made me really calm throughout the seed. But my game 2, when I was up 1-0 and the chance to win, I was like you could tell in my gameplay that I had let kind of the panic or the nerves of the grand finals take over.
You just had to beat Allison, you know.
Alright, I don't know if we've found anything of significance in Skullwood so far. Although we still have most of Skullwood still to go right here. Like, we did Vanilla Big Key Chest and checked the entrance, so.
Fun.
Hera Big Key is nice.
Yeah, if you haven't, please follow the runners. They've done an amazing job throughout this tournament.
Oh yeah, and they're both just good people in general.
Yeah, they're both great people. They've went from basically, I don't know how much experience they really had Crosskeys before this, but they've really stepped up clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Also, follow our tracker here. Aria plays Crosskeys a lot. They're quite good, so they're definitely a great person to learn from. Wall Kicks is kind of an okay person to learn from. Just the champion or something.
You know, I've played this mode
He's
once or twice,
kind
unfortunately.
of okay. Yeah.
but it's almost like, yo, I'm in my off season. Like, you know, I know in the coming months the Crosskeys tournament will kind of return, so it's almost like I start to ramp up my play and kind of get myself back in the mindset. It's gonna be soon.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you didn't get a mentor. You asked for one, you know.
All right, Soz. Remembering that there was the entrance back here that they left behind, which does lead me to believe that they are starting to dwindle down in their head. Okay, where's the logic? Like, what am I missing? Not necessarily like what am I missing, but like, you know, clearly there's something along the path that I haven't yet picked up that I need to pick up that'll allow me to progress more in this seed, whether that be a mirror, whether that be the flippers to get to East Darkwood, whether that be the hammer, something that will get me from point A to point B.
Yeah, they probably hit that, oh no moment, I forgot this.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Deign at this point is just bunny reviving wherever they can, trying to
find anything.
Yeah, find anything of note or of significance. I completely did not see where Hyrule left was.
It was desert left or desert right.
Okay. I was like, I was too busy looking at what Soz was picking up. Soz will be finding Meyer can't do anything without hookshot or boots. We'll also find Sahashalasad over here. Which could be something. And, you know, it might be hard for Deign to come back here because Deign might want to wait for a hookshot or boots because you want to go probably combo this with Meyer at this point.
I wonder if figuring out that that's Green Pendant will push them towards ice. Or they already do ice. Did Soz already do ice?
No, Soz hasn't stepped foot in ice.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. And I wonder if maybe knowing that they don't have to clear it, maybe it'll put that higher priority in their mind.
It could be. Although it looks like we might
finally get their hammer?
No, we're walking to pod by the looks of it.
Yep.
Which 3 keys doesn't add anything to the logic. Pod in Crosskeys is largely you want to consider 146. Ooh, no, Deign dying right on the way to Thieves Town. That is really unfortunate.
Sad.
I mean, maybe this will get them their Moon Pearl.
Yeah,
I
definitely think that's definitely a little odd. But they've only skipped basically Aga Tower, and I'm guessing they're unfortunately incorrectly trying too hard to save, you know, to not do until they get another key, sort of thing.
Yeah, that could definitely be something.
Or just forgot as well.
Or just forgot it, like also a possibility. All right. Deign is finally going to get their Moon Pearl. Okay. Probably not feel good about this.
Yes. Although, at the very least, is where this is at, maybe might get them back into it.
Yeah, and like with the hammer, and now Mitts as well, like Dane's Dark World access is so much easier than Soz's.
Yeah, because as long as Soz continues to put that off, that's just more time they're bleeding to Deign here.
Yeah, because like Soz's only Dark World access right now is the Desert Connector in the eastern area. Deign now has Mitts. Deign now has Hammer. Like, you know, he has a lot of easy Dark World access. Got some not fun keys on Soz's side. I mean, not fun in the sense that, like, you don't want to do Hera Basement. And, like, at least with the Swamp Big, you're like, okay, at least I know I'm not leaving that check behind.
No, Shadow. First rule of Humbug's Crosskeys is go to Ice Palace.
Oh, yeah. Once you get Mitts, like, your first entrance, especially if you have Flute, should largely probably be the Ice Palace. Even without the flippers. It's so quick to get to. It's almost like how we talked about doing the Light World Hype Cave, how it's there. And like that's why people can put it off because it's like, oh yeah, this is really easy to get to.
Just please do it. Yeah, I definitely agree, Shadow. You can just get it out of the way whenever you first get there.
Yep.
Just like, please, just let me not have to think about it.
Yeah, Saw's having difficulty with this bomb jump.
Looks like my hammer jumps.
Still gets it though.
Hey, okay.
Yo, that Castle Tower key could be a major blessing for Saw's.
Yeah, fortunately, after they won it.
Well, because like if anything, this is what will push Soz to Castle Tower,
Absolutely.
to that hammer.
If they don't go to it now, I'd have questions.
Like, they know there's nothing back there. Yeah, we're going right to Castle Tower.
Yeah, and unfortunate, because they would have had the ability to basically beat Pod.
Yeah, but like this mitigates one of Dane's big advantages right here.
It still could be really big if something is here.
True.
Because otherwise, I probably wouldn't go right back here. Shadow. Sure you would. Ooh, okay, that is annoying.
Yeah, it's like it's not really one you want to be like, yeah. You were kind of hoping that was a better big key, like a desert big key. Alright, Soz now with normal Darkwold axes is going to put this to use and going to go over to the pod area, which I imagine is probably hiding something related to.
Yeah. Because they pretty much, this is pretty much the major area that neither of them have touched.
Yep. And like, on Dane's side now, you know, Deign has done a lot of South Darkwold, minus the one entrance he wasn't able to get to because he died along the way, and that one entrance is Thieves Town. So it's going to become a matter of when does when does Deign head in that direction? Because that's where the Fire Rod is, that's where Clear Ball Crystal is. He's got to go there at some point.
Alright, looks like they're probably going to go there now.
Not the biggest fan of walking out of Spike Cave, given that it wouldn't be that hard to just save, quit, flute right back to 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like that just wasted your green potion essentially.
Mm-hmm. But they're probably, I don't know, tunnel vision, I guess.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not unreasonable. It just, I think, a little unfortunate.
It is definitely, not efficient, but hey, can't say I haven't done something like that before.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like Soz is also not doing the pod entrance. Which, I am watching from a perspective as a commentator. I'm not watching as a perspective of a runner. Like, so I'm like, okay, it's easy to do this. Like, it's easy to get back here. So I get it. There's our fourth sword.
Yeah, that's why I personally would, prioritize doing that in front of the others, personally. Mm-hmm. But that's my own preference.
And again, it's easy
leaving that entrance with a passion.
And it's still easy to get back to, given you have flute, you have hammer, you have glove.
Yeah, because every time I leave it, it is something. I swear.
So we got a bit of a sword discrepancy here.
Yeah, quite a big one. Kind of crazy. So I'd be a little surprised if it ends up actually mattering in any meaningful way. I assume.
I don't remember where
those before. At least I would assume they're at least going to get tempered before it really matters.
I'd say tempered was what, in Thieves Town, maybe?
Yeah, I want to say that's correct.
We are picking up the Smith. I did not see what key that was. I was looking at the Smith.
Yeah, same. Thank you, Ari. I was really still here.
Tracker continues to be the MVP. Arya, thank you so much. So I wonder, I'm assuming Deign is gonna be taking this frog on a journey. The problem is that journey is gonna take him right to a thieves' town, which means you're saying goodbye to the frog. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah.
We're gonna be seeing a disappearing act here soon by our friendly neighborhood frog. Which, to be fair, isn't the worst thing. The mitts are flippers locked, so the mitts are, and thus his smith is currently out of logic.
Ooh, the hook shot.
That's not surprising at all. And yeah, there is that tempered.
Alright, now... Oh, not over there. By area.
No, we're doing Hookshot Cave right now.
Hookshot Cave, yeah.
Yep. Like, this is very much a Hookshot Cave into GT play, probably.
Yeah, that would make sense. Oh, wow.
Immediately rewarded with the mirror. The seat is very open now.
Yeah.
And I think at this point, Soz has definitely opened up a lead.
Yeah, very much. They basically just need their mitts, and they basically have access to everything.
Mm-hmm. So this isn't Dane's only out. Obviously,
That's right.
There's still plenty of race to go, but
here I am saying for the good of the minor, they don't have mitts yet.
but Deign doesn't know it, but he's probably hoping that this desert big chest is important.
Thieves have big chest, you mean?
Thieves have big chest, yes, thank you.
Yeah, because that is a major out still for them, and kind of their only one really left at this point.
Yeah, not like a, yeah. Again, I wouldn't say it's their only out, but it's by far their biggest.
Yeah, of what we know at least. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if something else comes up or happens, for sure. Oh wow, there's the boots.
There's the boots.
Cane.
Yep.
And
silvers.
Wow. Just very clean seed so far.
Here's Hera. So yeah, this is quickly just kind of snowballing into we're already fast approaching the end game.
Yeah, outside the hammer, Soz has played the seed very well.
Yeah. And we talked about how this chest right here is an Alfred Deign, and we talk about, oh, he still has ways to come back. It's started to become this might be his only out. No.
Unfortunate.
Almost had a moment, it was oh, that could have been a swamp small, but
yeah,
not
that would
quite.
have been massive.
Yeah. Alright, that pod key is important for Soz. Did need a pod key to finish clearing.
Wow, that was crazy.
Moldorm says, "Get out of here." Nice try.
Yeah.
Try that one again. Let's see what Mulberm says this time. Nope. Nope.
So at this point, we mostly just need, what, basically flippers, big keys, ice rod.
Yeah, like we're still, you know, flippers, desert big, swamp small, and ice rod.
Yeah, we are starting to kind of wind down.
I mean,
to this end.
Still, like, we know where the cane is, obviously. So,
Yeah.
Soz probably picks that up. He's going to do Hera Basement. A little surprised at this, given I'm pretty sure they know where Meyer is. They know where the cane is. They've got the big key. There's still all of less IGT available to them. This is,
I think with the number of items left, I think this is reasonable.
Yeah, and like this is a thorough play, and something that Soz minus the hammer location has been very thorough throughout the seed.
Yeah, they don't quite know it, but they could definitely afford to do this.
Definitely. Alright, nothing there, but I don't think Soz is too worried about that. I wonder, I can't imagine Soz is going to go into ice right now. One, because he knows where the cane is, he can get it. Two, he knows it's a pendant. And like, that's still just time, because like, I don't think there was anything in Ice Palace at all.
No, not at all.
Which is, time that Deign unfortunately burned. Not in a bad way.
It made sense for his position.
It made sense for his position. He probably correctly, or he incorrectly thought the Moon Pro was going to be there, but given his options at the time, that's highly likely where the Moon Pro was going to be.
Yeah, you can't fault him for that.
Yeah.
Like, I think most strong players would make that it's at play.
Yeah. Yo, finding Blind's Hut too. This is one of our big 5-item caves. I don't think we've seen Hype Cave, so still another 5-item cave out there. Big key to desert. That's one we need.
Have we even found the Desert Wind?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is actually going there right now.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. As I say that, I just realized, oh wait, that's where Deign is.
Alright, so Deign will be picking up the hookshot here by going to pod. Unfortunately, at this point, still just behind Soz. And like, there's nothing that Deign has done that has given him any sort of tangible advantage at this point.
Unfortunate.
The best course of action for, the best hope for Deign at this point is that Soz works their way into Ice Palace for whatever reason. But the chances of that happening are dwindling fast. ruby, more importantly, crystal number 3.
It's another thing that Dan could really hope for is maybe GT has nothing and Sauce full clears it.
I mean, it's...
They don't, but I feel like that's very unlikely that they don't as well.
Yeah, I was like, Deign is going to end up in GT for sure. And one thing that we forgot to consider in terms of like what we also need for Go mode is the GT big.
Yes. Well, yeah, I kind of lumped that in with all the big keys. Yeah.
Yeah, you said all the big keys. In my head, I was like, oh yeah, that's just desert. No, we also need...
No. Yeah.
Like, one of Dane's only saving graces at this point is the mitts, which we still don't even know if they're required at this point. But like, I can't imagine Saz is gonna go get the mitts until they have flippers, which admittedly could just be right here in GT.
Absolutely. More likely than not at this point.
Yeah. A little surprised at the route we're taking here.
Yeah, with Kane, yeah, odd. Though it's not going to matter too much, given they have all these keys.
Like, this could just end up being a DM route, you know, like,
which
you kind of...
I don't feel like that makes sense in Crosskeys. But...
No, but like, you might just be thinking to yourself, oh, you know, if you know, my non-Crosskeys GT route is DM route in general, but
I think this is more just tunnel vision on him and how long they've had it.
Yeah, like they just got they just got Kane, so they might not be thinking, oh, I have right side available to me as well. Alright, mirror for Deign. Assuming he takes this connector, you know, he'll find back of TR, he'll find Hera, all that good stuff, which, again, will be good.
Yeah, overall they had just enough stuff that I don't think it's going to matter too much.
And yeah, you know, Maniacal's right. Like, Saz has been very thorough, even if, like, you've been slightly off-kilter with some of the routing choices. Like, you know, not doing the back of Desert Entrance the first time they were over there, not doing the first test of Agate Tower. Like, again, Saz super thorough, deserves full credit for that, but, like, super thorough, but at the same time, slightly missing the being completely thorough.
This is basically, it's just Crosskeys, but it's for the Go Mode podcast, a podcast that covers Link to the Past news and whatnot.
Yep.
Ran
yeah,
by
this is
Tim, Dante, and Herfy Durfy.
Yeah. If you've not listened to the Go Mode podcast, highly, highly recommended. You know, they cover all things Link to the Past, talk to a lot of runners. Yeah, no, it's a great podcast. This is just a Crosskeys tournament put on by the Go Mode podcast.
But this was for the Mentor tournament, where you can get people mentor you that are actually good at this boat, like wall kicks, unlike myself.
Like you were a mentor. Like,
yeah,
don't sell yourself short.
People are actually good at this boat.
Alright, so, like, full stop. I don't think we've seen anything so far in GT at all.
Absolutely maniacal, yeah.
Maniacal, you did fine, my dude. You were a fast learner.
Mushroom. Fun.
I mean, yeah, the mushroom is the only thing of value so far. Which, you mentioned, yeah, the potion shop is just in Kakariko. It's like, that's the only thing that we've seen. Deign now in Hera. Does not have the small key, so won't get baited into that.
It happens, Maniacal. Hey, the swamp house.
The very last check
because
in the basement is something that we needed. Alright, so that is the Swamp Small for Saws required, but no flippers yet, so we can't do anything in Swamp. Saws looking like they're gonna full clear pot at this point. They've got 5 keys, so...
Yeah, this makes sense.
Yep, this is a quick trip. Now, Deign, I'm not sure if Deign knows that Skullwoods is a pendant. I know we know just based on, watching Saws do Skull, but I'm not sure if Deign knows.
Yeah,
I really don't have his personal stream open to know if his personal tracker has it marked, but...
And either way, regardless, I don't blame him if he just does it. It's quick.
Yeah,
Skull is definitely one of those dungeons that I think it doesn't matter. Regardless of what it is, unless you are like really close to go mode.
Yeah, but it looks like he's going to put it off. Please use your hecking boots. Thank you. I'm sorry, that was just like...
Yeah, that's basically the gist of it, Plasma.
Alright, so Deign looks like they're going to head over. They're going to get their Desert Big, and probably check what's on Bombo's tablet. Again, something that could be of benefit because Saz has not picked up their book yet. Deign was looking a little unsure of himself because, like, Deign knows where the cane is and Meyer is right here.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, Deign knows he does not want to touch Meyer yet until they pick up that cane of Samaria.
Absolutely. Especially with pretty much they have everything else for it. They really should not.
Yeah. But like he's probably also thinking, I know Saha is right here as well, and I was a bunny the first time I found it, so I wasn't able to get the back checks. I make fun about the whole boots thing. If you watch me in the Mystery PogChamp, everybody yells at me because PogChamp auto starts with pseudo boots, and it takes me 10 minutes.
Impossible to remember.
It takes me 10 minutes minimum to realize, oh yeah, I have pseudo boots. Maniacal knows.
Yeah, well, I went Wintor mode there for a second.
Or I'll press A, kick up dust, and not even register it.
Yeah. Your brain in so many different ways in a mystery tournament like that.
There was one mystery tournament where we started with pseudo boots that I went the entire seed not knowing I had pseudo boots.
Oh no!
And lost to Futon by 14 seconds.
That's so bad.
And like after the seed, someone in my chat was like, "Yo, press A." And like I saw the dust, I'm like, "God dang it!"
That's painful.
All right, Saz is just going into crystal clear mode.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah,
they definitely should at this point.
Yeah,
that is the correct play.
Yeah, and It's highly likely at this point that Meyer is going to have our flippers. Because, like, the flippers lock Swamp, the flippers lock our mitts. You know, it's very likely at this point that this is just one of our... Like, the pathing towards the end of this game seems fairly straightforward.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. We're definitely very dwindled down at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And in the way it's what we have left, it kind of has to lead one to another.
Yeah. And, like, to Dane's credit, you know, Deign is probably at this point recognizing that he probably feels behind.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's not like he's even played that bad. He just had some unfortunate, moments. Ice Palace and
Ice Palace and the Pearl, like those two things
the
collectively,
wrong
like
item, it just unfortunately just the way Crosskeys goes.
Yeah, but like he might be playing to the fact that he feels behind and needs something not on the critical path. You know, because Soz is doing the arguably correct thing. GT big required, which is just clear your Crystal Dungeons. So like Soz's next play, assuming they don't get anything else in Meyer, 100% is going to be the climb.
Yeah, so at this point, I guess the main thing is like where is Ice Rod?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is spicy.
It's spicy. It's good for Deign. But I also have a hard time thinking that Soz isn't gonna get that. Like, because Soz has the big key in all 4 keys.
It's really gonna be, yeah. How long, I guess, does can I guess Deign get a meaningful, amount back there?
Yeah, and you know, the fact that the GT big is in Meyer means Deign is going to have to do some of Meyer regardless. He's not going to be blessed with a go in Meyer if he finds there's the Ice Rod. Okay, so that's
no mode, right?
Yeah, that's no mode, and I think that's just going to be GG's. Like, you know, I know as commentators we want to try to keep it suspenseful, keep it whatever. Like, Soz's next play is Turtle Rock. And, like, it is entirely reasonable, given where Laser Bridge is. Well, I mean, I guess he's near Laser Bridge, but, like, he's gonna, like, it makes sense to essentially full clear Turtle Rock at this point. Which will give him his flippers, which will put him in go mode.
Yeah, because it's not like he can go devote himself to like, Swamp.
Yeah.
The only thing he really could do would be climb, basically, right?
Yeah, like he might climb first, but like given where he's at right now,
yeah, and
he's just gonna go clear Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I would definitely question that at this point, kind of.
And like, I think the only thing is that he could potentially do would be Ice Palace, but even then, like, that's not going to be too long for him. Not to make up the difference in the lead that he has, and like, Deign at this point is getting suckered into the unfortunate part of, okay, he has his flippers, his mitts are quote unquote in logic. He doesn't have all 4 TR keys, but like, you don't really concern yourself. You think, oh, maybe the 4 TR key is just in Meyer or something.
I know. I do think the unfortunate thing for Soz is I think it can be he can easily, just do the front of TR and then bail from there.
Well, like he also knows, like, with the TR big and right side TR being in Kakariko, that's just a quick flute over.
Yeah.
And like it is very easy to just be like, hey, I'm going to do the big chest, the vanilla big key chest, chain chomps.
Yeah.
He might do Crystal Roller Room here.
Even if he does just climb first, it's not enough time loss to matter.
No,
Because
and yeah,
all those checks are on the way.
Yeah, and like he's going to the boss right now, which totally makes sense. This will spit him out in the
this
front. He'll
is
probably
definitely where he should be. Yeah.
yeah, it'll spin on the front. He'll probably do the front, and then it's just a matter of he might climb first, but getting to Vanilla Big Key Chest and Turtle Rock is not
should not take him very long. Yeah.
No.
After the case, if not almost the next thing, because of how fast it is.
Yeah.
Because at the very least, it definitely should be very kind of at the forefront of your mind.
Agreed.
The TR Big Key.
Agreed.
Which then
just
the
naturally
puts. Just, yeah.
And like to Dane's credit, Deign is on his path to completion because like he's gonna go into Mire right now. He's gonna get his GT Big. He's gonna get his Ice Rod, and in his mind, I mean he hasn't done GT at all, so like he's probably gonna beeline GT after finishing Mire and Turtle Rock, and like that's where the Swamp Small is. So like he's also on the good path to go mode. Just
at this point, he won't be necessarily too far behind.
Yeah.
So flippers were in lava chests.
And like you can chalk up a lot of this deficit, unfortunately for Deign, just the Moon Pearl and his Ice Palace play. Like he lost so much time in Ice Palace just with his initial issues, not having enough health to bomb jump, running out of bombs, and then going in a third time to complete the dungeon, only to have it be a useless pendant. And Soz is not touching Ice Palace at all. And Soz is like going all the way.
It's like they're going all So.
Little interesting, but still not bad. Like
not unreasonable.
Yeah, like I probably would have approached this from the big key chest or from the big chest entrance, but
I mean the thing is, as they've shown with some of their past plays, they're more thinking about where they're at right now.
Yeah.
So much. Didn't necessarily recognizing where they might have other interests as much in the moment.
Right.
They're just go.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean is 100% reasonable in their situation here, especially in as I said in a grand finals sort of situation.
Yeah.
And spending keys here is not going to matter. So.
No, I mean especially like we're gonna get the key right here. Soz will be on go mode here in 30 seconds.
So just very minor time loss, just a little bit of just optimization is all would be.
Yep.
To do it your way.
Yep. All right.
And at 1 hour and 41 minutes, that puts Soz at go mode, right?
Yeah. Just gotta go.
Put up a very strong time here.
Definitely. It's just Swamp Palace, a go mode swamp, and a quick GT climb. I mean, we're gonna be finishing 152, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
That might even be, not giving them enough credit. Like I think a 150-ish.
I don't know. That's the thing though. It's all a swamp. It's all the GT climb and a GT fight or a game fight. It's quite a bit still.
True.
I think 10 minutes is very reasonable, even with Gold Sword.
Mm-hmm. Deign, meanwhile, did get their GT Big, will get their Ice Rod out here, putting them just in Swamp Small Go mode, which we know is right side GT. Unfortunately, have to do Desert, have to do Pod, still has to finish Mire Turtle. Like, the deficit just isn't feasible. But like both winners, well-earned spots to make it to finals. Like both owners have played very admirably. Soz's run through lower bracket has been incredible. You know, a lot of top tier runners here. Like it's, yeah, both very deserving of being here.
I would be scared to race against them. So.
Oh, absolutely.
So...
and I'm a Crosskeys champion. Like, it's, yeah. Watching both of these runners, seeing their play style, like Soz is definitely a very thorough runner, and that's paid off in this seed for the most part. Deign also been very thorough, but still probably, still learning, still picking up, some of the minor nuances of what isn't in logic. And I mean, and another big thing that was a big difference maker in the seed was Soz getting the Castle Tower small.
And pushing it back
in Dark Maze, which literally pushed them to Castle Tower for that hammer. Because like if that Castle Tower small isn't there, who knows when Soz goes to get the hammer. Nice. Good
Cute.
Castle Tower key, dude.
Alright. Gotta go do that now.
Could you have theoretically had a hammer go mode the seed?
Maybe?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think you could have theoretically had a hammer go mode.
You'd be crazy.
You'd be crazy.
So. But yeah, I think it's possible because I don't think anything was really locked by hammer. It just made it really inconvenient.
Yeah. All right, GT climb here for Soz. Last thing he needs to do, and we'll be done. Deign with a nice Trinex fight. Didn't quite get the 0 cycle, but no big deal. I imagine Deign probably will do desert, maybe pod before GT.
Yeah.
I say that, Soz is going to be done before that.
Yeah.
I'm in my head. I'm trying to think what is Dane's thought process here.
Yeah, but I think that would be the correct thing to do. Just so you can obviously just go straight into Ganon. No thought.
And like Deign may even also choose to climb before even doing the rest of the GT basement, because like if the Swamp Small is up there, then I don't need to do the base. Like I get to skip the basement in its entirety. Like if I'm Deign in this situation, when I go to GT, the first thing I'm doing is climbing.
Yeah, I think that's very reasonable.
And then when it inevitably isn't up there, I just like, okay, I'm just gonna go right back to GT and clear out the basement.
And you lose very, very little for that. Other than unfortunately having to walk back is about the only problem. But
yeah, but like that's not
that is way less than clearing the basement. So.
Soz is very much using silver arrows. Given that he has half magic, I'd probably switch to fire rod for the gauntlet, but it's fine.
It's also just easier to use fire rod. I'm so bad with the bow, so
yeah, and it looked like the enemies were in the arrow pack anyway, so like there was no risk for just spamming all of your arrows. All right, 5 crystals now for Deign.
Oh, okay, so we're putting an old band. Okay.
Still gonna do some entrances. I don't think we've seen Hype Cave yet. So like, you know, in his mind, there's still a 5-item cave out there.
Yeah, right. Unfortunate.
But still, like,
Very reasonable to do this, but just unfortunate with our knowledge.
yeah. But even with, you know, you have all 6 pod keys and the big key. Like, I would still prioritize pod a little bit over this.
Definitely.
Over searching out like Hype Cave.
I don't know. I definitely think it's not unreasonable with like it being a literal save and quit here.
Yeah, it's not bad. This is Skullwoods. I think this is an indicator that he doesn't know this. Yeah, that this is a pendant, which this sucks. But again, not knowing it's a pendant, you do this in the hope that it's a crystal. I don't think he knows Swamp is the crystal.
Yeah, so this makes his line of play make even more sense here.
Yeah, I agree.
Because otherwise, this is very clean routing right here.
Mm-hmm. Although I will say, you know, this probably could have and should have been done. Like if he was planning to do this
much sooner, yeah.
This should have probably been done after the Hera clear.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. But he's probably trying to avoid it and realize now he kind of has to do it here now.
Alright, so it's done with Agatude, dropping into Ganon. Gold sword, silvers, easy fight.
Nice, comfy fight, just like the rest of the seed.
Yep. Like this, in all honesty, has been a pretty nice seed. It just you had to get the Moon Pearl was really like the only.
Just a little weird, but even
yeah,
then,
it's like the only ridiculous gotcha here.
And it's far from the worst.
Yeah. Everything else about the seed was fairly straightforward. It's not super often that Crosskeys seeds feel linear, but this one definitely felt a little linear. 3, gotta get one more and probably have to light the torch one more time. Yeah. And Saz is taking it safe.
Yeah, might as well. I think this is reasonable to do so.
Yep. Arrow number 4, GG's for Saz. Gonna take the victory. Going to be your Go Mode Podcast Mentor Crosskeys Tournament Champion. Major GG's to Saz. What a run. Yeah. And I mean, heck yeah. Congrats.
Overall, we said a very, very clean match here. I saw taking it from even just up the losers bracket, sweeping their way through after that. And did they lose to Deign or?
And like getting a final time of 150, 154 as your final race, like.
No, I think they lost to Baja, my mentee, if I remember correctly. Was their only like other loss. And we are joined here by Saz. GG's.
GG's. GG's.
Yeah, you played the seed really well. Like,
yeah, it's really great.
The the only issue that we saw you run into a little bit was the hammer. Like, I was a little surprised the first time you walked into Aga Tower, you had a sword and chose not to do the first shit at Aga Tower. Kind of talk us through your decision, with the whole Aga Tower play.
So I was hoping to get a key so I could get both items, and I think when it was there, I was thinking more about Paradox at the time. I wasn't really thinking about what I could do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely should have done that. Like, literally, as you say, I feel like that seed went fantastically, except for that hammer.
Yeah. And real quick, want to say Deign has chosen to take the forfeit. Again, big GGs to him. Making it to finals on the winner side, like quite a run for him as well.
Yeah, very, very strong streak for him. Pretty much undefeated all the way through. So.
Yeah. And then let's see. So Soz, kind of going back, did Ice Palace at any point cross into your mind?
Yeah. I was lucky that I did Castle Tower when I did, because Ice Palace was where I was heading after that.
Yeah, we were wondering if you were gonna dip Ice beforehand. We are now also joined by Deign. Deign, GG's.
GG. That was some Ice Palace, huh?
Yeah. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, like the two issues you ran into the seed, unfortunately just unrecoverable, was your Ice Palace play and then, not getting the Moon Pearl for an hour.
Yeah.
And like the Ice Palace play was only compounded by the fact that it ended up being a pendant. There was nothing in it. Soz avoided it completely. But kind of talk us through your Ice Palace. Like, what was your mindset after the unfortunate mishaps in Ice Palace? Like, in your head, are you like, okay, am I just very behind and I need to start cutting corners, or was it like, okay, this happened, it happened, let's just focus on the rest of the seed moving forward?
More just let's focus on trying to fix what's going on and not blow up. I felt like after that had happened, I was playing quite a bit better. Once I got the Moon Pearl, things started to click. But yeah, it was
cleaner from our end, it seemed.
Yeah, but going in there with one bomb and not realizing it was kind of devastating.
Yeah, that one kind of sucked, and then missing the bomb. Yeah, it was all a little unfortunate, but like you said, after you got the Moon Pearl, your play cleaned up a lot. It was a matter of, at this point, you're really just following Soz's footsteps. You did sequence break the mitts off of Hobo. Unfortunately, it just kind of led you further down a wrong path. You went to the Mire area unnecessarily. Almost a little bit of death by 1,000 paper cuts, unfortunately, on this one. But you still played amazingly.
Thank you.
GG's, Deign.
GG's, Soz. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I mean, congrats to you as well. We it's no joke to get through this. We both made it to the finals, so we both had some absolutely amazing matches throughout. So, yeah, congrats to you as well.
Thank you.
And yeah, like I'm looking forward to seeing you guys continue to improve in Crosskeys. Like this entire tournament has been so fun to watch people who aren't used to the mode kind of get into the mode, be able to speak with people who are more experienced with the mode, kind of pick their brain, and then use what they've learned to pull off, a 151. Like a 151 is an amazing time for any Crosskey seed.
Yeah, very, very happy with the result. Obviously, with 151 being the sub 2 hours. I remember before this tournament, I couldn't crack that barrier, and I think I've had a few in this tournament.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So yeah, we're sort of grinding down, and that's exactly what I wanted out of the mental tournament. So it's done exactly what I wanted it to do, which is wonderful.
Yeah, I'm even a mentor in this tournament, and still, even where I'm at, I am like over the moon anytime I get a sub 2 still. It is not often for me myself. It is very difficult to achieve these sort of times in these seeds.
Yeah, and Deign, you've shown significant improvement from when I was mentoring you at the start of the tournament. So the fact that you've made it here again, just incredible run. Big GGs to you. Like, you are improving leaps and bounds literally with every seed.
Thank you. Yeah, I before the tournament started, I hadn't done a Crosskeys, and it came up in my feed, and I was just like, hey, I should try that. And Allison helped me get set up and to do my first Crosskeys, and then you were there as my first mentor, which helped a ton. So I can't thank you guys enough.
Yeah, this whole tournament has been just, as I've said before, it's just been absolutely inspiring to watch people come up and just hit the ground running and just immediately, there's been so many sub 2s and just in the bracket here, it's been nuts.
Mm-hmm. And I can't wait to see you guys, assume you guys take part in the regular Crosskeys tournament.
Yeah, please do.
Want to see you do some damage there too.
Yeah, I can't wait to face off against a lot of you. It's gonna be amazing to watch just how much, like, the Crosskeys tournament was already just stacked, and it's just gonna continue to get even more stacked. And it's fantastic. I love to watch this mode continue to grow and just get better and better.
Man, I think ever since I learned Crosskeys, it's really become my favorite. Like, a shout out to, they weren't my mentors, but who originally sort of taught me how this mode worked was Scottish Brave and Zen. And since they sort of spent 2 hours with me getting 2 crystals, and from then I've made massive improvements. But yeah, between this and like the new season of the ladder being Retrance Invitational, absolutely love entrance modes. I'm really, really into it now.
It's a scary barrier to cross, but once you kind of do a seed, it's almost as if, like, you do your first seed and you're like, oh my god, this is the worst thing in the world. Why does anybody do it? You don't do it for a couple weeks and you're like, hey, maybe the first seed was just bad. You play one, you're like, okay, that wasn't too bad, and then a month later you're playing Crosskeys almost exclusively.
Yeah, this has definitely become my default mode.
It's almost a little bit disappointing when you get a mystery which isn't an entrance. You're like, oh, I just want to get out of this straight away.
There's other modes?
Yeah.
I suppose Doors is next, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh
no. It's Doors is an experience.
Yeah, I could definitely test that. Doors is a lot.
Yep. But big GGs to both of you. Any final thoughts? Any last words before we sign off?
As I sort of said, shout out to Scottish and Zen for originally teaching me, and then I had, who was it? Smirk, Shinmaru, Mike, and Tracebire do mentor in the Swiss week. So yeah, shout outs to those guys as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Shout outs to the GMP podcast for setting this all up. This has been great.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Happy to have been a part of this. All right, I think that's going to be about it. Want to shout out Arya Stark, our amazing tracker, who was able to keep everything, being able to tell us what keys that our winners picked up and whenever Camera and I weren't looking, which was more often than we'd like to admit. Cam, thank you for doing commentary with me. It was an absolute blast.
It was a pleasure to do commentary. I mean, I was happy the second I saw that you said you were going to do it.
Heck yeah. But with that, I think we're going to sign off. Again, GG's to both of our runners. Give them a follow, Soz and Deign. Soz, GG's again on winning the tournament. Deign, amazing performance. As your mentor, hella proud with what you've put through. Again, looking forward to seeing you both continue to improve. And I think with that, I'm going to sign off at least. So, Cam, I'll give you the last word if you'd like.
Yeah, it's been great. I hope to see you guys next year for the next one of these. So hopefully this becomes more regular thing, because I think this has shown a lot of promise as a mentor tourney.
Absolutely, yeah. It'd be good to get on the other side of the fence.
Absolutely, I think being on as someone who is a mentee for the open one a couple of years ago, it was definitely very good for me to have that experience to be able to teach. So I think, and especially being on that side for this sort of tournament and having this under your belt, I think will help teaching the next one of these that happens even more. So yeah, GG's. Been fun.
Jeez.